he was somebody who always remained really true to the person that he was. And that was something that I think was really notable about him. When I was a boy, he was a great dad. I always held him in a little bit of awe. He seemed like he was so fearless. He could solve any problem and mend anything in his tool belt and his cowboy boots and his work truck and all that. He showed me how to use his garage full of tools and shoot a BB gun, and gave me kind of free rein to explore the forest that we lived in and stuff. Also led the family through endless summers of chopping firewood, stacking cord after cord of firewood, and the winters of plowing and shoveling and plowing our long forest driveway with a tractor that he cobbled a homemade snowplow blade onto, and would take it down the road and plow the neighbors' driveways and stuff. There was always kind of the sense of him that he could fix or build anything, and with his work truck and his tool belt, and his truck always smelled like coffee and skull tobacco and grease. And those are the things that I think of when I think of my dad at that time. And he was also a lot of fun, amongst all this work and growing up, and occasionally he did off-the-wall things like bring home a car and park it in our driveway and say, "Hey kids, I got you a car." We were in first and second grade. Just parked it there and said, "Yeah, have fun." Painted the roof to look like the General Lee, because I was into Dukes of Hazzard at the time. As I became a teenager, he became even more of a teacher to me. He was also my boss because I worked for the family company over the summers, and spent days out with him working and with a lot of people that I see here. Watching his relationships with employees and contractors and clients and all this every day through, as he really built his business from kind of a small thing to a much larger business, really taught me a lot of lessons. The value of having a strong work ethic and working hard, leadership by example, and what I think was probably the most striking thing about my dad was that making complicated and tough decisions can be a lot easier and can seem much simpler if you just listen to your inner compass and you follow that and you do what was the right thing. That thing that just won't leave you with guilt when you look back on it, and when you find it, you know that's the right thing. And he taught me a lot about that, and that was something that always followed. And it often did not mean taking the easy way through things, like it usually works out. But when I look back at his life, he always did that. He always did the right thing for himself, for his family, for the people around him, for all those employees who he felt very responsible for, and I think he was just a really good man for having done that. It's something that was a huge lesson for me. And among all of that, he remained to be pretty fun and occasionally did off-the-wall things like helping me build a giant skateboard ramp in the middle of the forest. And I mean giant. When I became an adult and moved away, I watched him change even more, and our relationship changed a little bit more too. He was just as capable of a guy. He became a lot more spiritual and intellectual. He did a lot of questioning things that he'd been taught as a kid, revising his beliefs on the world and on the spirit, and really explored a lot of parts of his mind that I have yet to explore and that I look forward to. It's something that I really looked up to him for doing that, because he was never one to be stuck by old beliefs or by something just because that's the way it is. I love that about him. And at the same time he moved here to the country club, he made a new set of friends and played a lot of golf, developed some really neat friendships and met a lot of people here that really changed his life too. It was amazing. It was very brand new, and it was very worthy of all the hard work that had gotten him to this place and able to retire and everything. So I'm very grateful for everyone here and the life that he and Mom built here. It was very neat. He channeled all that discipline from work into his golf swing and to bowling. He did a lot of volunteer work with the Advocacy Center here in the Springs and did some good things. He actually did a lot of work in this very room. This company did this stuff. So pretty cool. You know, he was always a great advisor and a mentor to me and to many people, I think. And watching him settle into being a grandfather and a full-time golfing retiree, he really just was glowing with happiness, and it was a really neat thing to see. His illness was really a big shock to all of us. You know, it seems so unfair that such a healthy and happy and wonderful guy could get struck with something like this at the age that he was. But you know, he took it all in measure. He went through it just like he had always taught me, to how you do things. Listen to yourself, decide what the right thing to do is. You know, for him, that was committing to some really god-awful treatments and a lot of tough times. And he worked hard at it every day, and he just fought at it. And he fought super hard with hardly complained, which just taught me and taught us all a lot about the selflessness and the strength that he had, and that he was a very, very good living example of. And so I'm very, very proud of him for that. So, I hope this isn't the last time you hear this tonight, because I hope to hear it a lot tonight. But Dad was a real peach. He was a peach. That was one of his catchphrases. I honestly hope everybody says it at least once tonight. It's so nice to see everybody here, and just know that he also touched your lives in a positive way, and that we can be here to share his memories and trade a John story over a drink, talk about some golf, talk about some our kids and the things that really bring us happiness, and that were the world that John built around himself. So, thank you for you guys for being here, and let's raise a drink and have a toast for Dad.